Arraignments in federal court are typically routine matters, but the arraignment of former FBI Director James Comey was no ordinary hearing. The Comey arraignment not only marked the start of the criminal proceedings against James Comey, but it marked the moment the Justice Department itself went on trial, since many view the Comey prosecution as the first high-profile test of whether the Department of Justice continues to stand as an independent institution that answers to the law, or whether it now stands to answer to the President. As a former federal prosecutor for more than 30 years, I represented the Department of Justice at hundreds of arraignments. I can tell you that arraignments are typically low-key, quiet, even mechanical proceedings. But Comey's decision to appear in person for his arraignment turned it into a spectacle that the entire country was watching. Under Rule 10 of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, Comey could have asked the judge in his case to allow him to skip appearing in person before the court for the arraignment. But Comey didn't do that. He knew the cameras would be there, and by walking through the courthouse doors, he turned what is typically a purely procedural moment into an act of defiance of the President and an act of confidence in the judiciary and the American jury system. At the same time, his personal appearance at this high-profile arraignment raised the stakes for the DOJ and the President because they will face humiliation and scrutiny if they fail to gain a conviction in this case, especially since the case was sought by a newly appointed U.S. attorney who reportedly ignored the advice of career prosecutors that there was no probable cause to seek the indictment. Then there is the fact that in the days before the indictment, the Department of Justice fired Comey's daughter, Maurene. Comey's daughter was a highly regarded assistant United States attorney in the Southern District of New York, which is considered the premier U.S. attorney's office in the country. By all accounts, Comey's daughter had earned consistently outstanding evaluations and was entrusted with some of the office's most high-profile and difficult cases. The day before she was fired, she was reportedly asked to take the lead in a high-profile public corruption investigation. On its face, the timing of her firing raises the question as to whether she was fired simply because she is James Comey's daughter. Her firing cuts to the heart of the story unfolding now with Comey's prosecution. Is justice still being administered fairly at DOJ, or has it become personal? We need to keep in mind that the justice system isn't only about following the letter of the law. It's also about maintaining public trust that cases are being pursued by an institution that operates fairly without bias or vengeance. At Comey's arraignment, he was advised of the 2 charges against him in the indictment and their maximum potential penalties. During the arraignment, U.S. Attorney Halligan indicated that she believed the case was complicated. The judge responded that the case didn't seem complicated to him, and Comey's lawyer agreed, noting the case seemed simple. Both the government and the defense thought the trial might last for 2 to 3 days. The court set the date for the filing of pretrial motions for October 20th, with briefs due on November 20th. Trial was set for January 5th, 2026. During the hearing, Comey's lawyer indicated that the defense will be filing pretrial motions seeking dismissal of the indictment. He noted 2 possible theories for those motions. First, he indicated the defense's theory that the prosecution was vindictive and selective. Second, he offered the theory that the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia was unlawfully appointed. I'll be following every development in the Comey case closely, from the filings of the first pretrial motions to the rulings on any motions to dismiss. And I'll break down what these developments mean for the Comey case, for the rule of law, and for the Department of Justice itself. If you found this analysis helpful, please subscribe to my channel. And let me know in the comments if you have suggestions for future videos. I'm always open to your ideas. Thanks for watching, and remember that where law rules, justice follows.